What's
Good
going on
morning.
here? Yeah.
All right, I'm hungry. It's only 10 a.m., but man, you're getting me in the mood for some pulled pork.
We are going to have some delicious stuff for you here shortly. We're going to show everybody how to do a pulled pork at home. You can cook this overnight in your oven, right? You can cook it during the day while you're gone and come back home and have a perfectly cooked piece of pork. We're going to use a pork shoulder. Sometimes you'll see it as pork butt, but it's actually from this area of the pig. It's not actually from the area you might think it might be, right? I usually like to do bone in, but this is a boneless. Anytime you can get the bone, it's going to give you a little bit more flavor, right? So what I've done here is I've scored it on top. You can see here I just cut through the fat a little bit to help the seasonings get down. Randy, I'm going to have you, if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to have you make the dry rub for me here. This is going to be all the ingredients.
Excuse me, Caleb.
Lucky.
I have to help the chef out here. So,
I want to know, is this beer?
This is beer, yes, and you can use any kind of flavor, whatever you have on hand. You might choose a beer that helps accentuate, like a Blue Moon has that orangey feel. Like you could put that in there as well to get that. But Randy, if you want to go ahead and get started with all these ingredients
So I
here,
just dump them
all in. We're going to make a dry rub. We've got black pepper, white pepper, dry mustard, granulated onion,
step back.
a little chili
I
powder,
need my room here, Caleb.
a little
Sorry,
salt,
Randy.
some smoked paprika. That's going to give you that nice smoked flavor. Some granulated onion, and then we have brown sugar. So if you want to give that a stir real quick,
So do I put all this in here?
put all of it in. That's
I
right.
love this. This is the way I love to cook.
Now,
Yeah,
do I
precisely
actually
measured.
get to rub the dry rub on?
You can do that, yes. So what we're going to do here in this pan, I've got some carrots, onions, celery, garlic, and bay leaf, which is a simple mirepoix.
Okay.
As he gets that together, we're going to push this all over and then put it in the pan. We're going to fill it with the beer and the water and then top it, and then it's going to cook for about 8 to 10 hours.
How's that, chef? Am I doing okay? Or I keep going?
A little clumpy. I think you might go a little bit.
Called you out.
You like that, Caleb? Okay.
I love all the chefs we have on the show because every chef is like, it's just really simple, but there's like several steps. My idea of simple is like
That looks good there, Randy. Thank you.
one ingredient. Although this is easy. Making a dry rub, as long as you have all the ingredients here.
Right. And most of these ingredients you all have in your pantry anyway.
Absolutely.
Right. These are things that you have around the house. Most everything I try to show you is something that you don't have to run out and go get a bunch of crazy stuff.
Do you have a technique for how you put on this dry rub? Do you have a secret here?
You know what? I'm going to move this over for you here. So what I like to do is I'm going to put some on here for you and show you.
Okay.
You've got to get it on, and then you've got to work it in, right? You've got to smash it a little bit, work it in.
And you said you actually made cuts in the meat, too.
I did. It's called scoring. You can do squares. I did parallelograms today just for the TV effect here.
You can cut it any way you want, right?
That's right. Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
You can write your name.
You can. And what that does, it helps the fat start to dissolve a little bit more and the seasonings to get down in the meat, right? And then I'm going to flip it over real quick.
That
We're
is
going to
one
do both
heavy
sides.
piece
Look
of
at that.
meat.
Now, this is going to serve about 8 people here. So I think this roast was about $16.
He doesn't know us, Caleb. Maybe 3 or 4 of us here.
8 people or Randy and Kayla, whichever, right? Okay, so we got that both rubbed here. So now, you see how easy that was, right? We're going to put it right into our pan, right like that. And then we're going to put our liquid in. Now, one thing, always make sure you pour the liquid into the side. I see a lot of people just pour the liquid right over the top, which then takes the seasoning away from the meat.
Okay.
Charles has the secrets. And what kind of beer did you say you used for this?
This is just a traditional light beer, but you can use whatever kind of beer you
Is that
like.
just 1 can?
That was 2 cans.
2 cans.
Yeah, that was 2 cans of beer. Or you could use a pint maybe. And then here's about a little over a pint of water. So you want to go about halfway up to the meat there, so it's about halfway covered, right?
Okay.
Let me take this off here. And then what we're going to do is cover it. Now, I do recommend you use either plastic or parchment paper to cover it first, because the acid and some of the seasonings in the foil will kind of combine, and the foil will start to eat away a little bit at that.
Okay.
So we've got that covered, just like this, and that's how easy that was. And so this is going to go in the oven at about 250 for 8 to 10 hours. You can do it during the day when you're at work, overnight, right?
Yeah.
Now here's what it's going to ultimately come out to look
This is
like.
my favorite part.
Finished product.
Yes,
Okay.
so here we go.
Look at all this. Oh my goodness. I wasn't ready.
See how this, oh yeah, look at that.
Oh, look how
See that?
juicy.
The
And
smell
so-
just hit me immediately.
Now, we've got to go ahead and try it out here,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. That looks
Settle
good.
down, Carrie. Settle down.
All right.
Carrie, you can come
I have
over here and
fork
try
here.
it too. We
You
can
would?
share. All right, here we go. Here we
Randy, I've
go.
got one for you too, buddy.
Moment of truth.
And then-
Ooh, you got an onion in there. I'm jealous.
Yeah, oh, delicious, delicious.
There you are.
Chef, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh
You can
my
add-
goodness.
And see, that's with no sauce or anything. Now, I have some barbecue sauce if you'd like to add to it, but that's just the pulled pork.
You don't
see
even
that?
need it.
No, with the seasonings and the mirepoix and everything else. You know, sauces were invented to kind of cover up rancid meat long ago, right? So we don't have to cover up our meat like that anymore like we used to.
Wow.
So sauces is just an accompaniment. You shouldn't have to cover the meat with it.
Get out of here, sauce. I don't need you.
Oh, this is fantastic.
Wow.
Chef.
That
Excellent.
is really good. Thank you.
Thank you. So you saw how easy that
Yeah,
was.
actually, that really was easy. I'll give you that. Most of the time, they say it's easy and it's not. But Chef Charles doesn't lie. That was easy.
It is